Hi there folks, Dakian here with another surprise midweek update. This time on a different day of the week. But as these are not on any sort of a regular schedule, well, they're always a surprise. And you might be surprised, why am I bothering to make an update to show you these half-finished dudes who simply have some base coats on them and in a few cases a little bit of shading. Well, it's not really because of these guys. This one is actually a bit more finished than the others, but needs some highlighting up still, and the skin and the hair. But it's just to show you how fast bones can progress, because these, once I actually put some time into these, they will be finished very quickly. They will certainly be finished before Monday, and I want to get started on the next batch of bones before then, and so it's the next segment where I show you the next set of bones that's actually the important part in this update. Oh, and also the last segment where I show you some loot. So without further ado, let's move on to that. I wanted to give you a little heads up on my next bones set that I'm painting up, to give you some of the lore behind them. This is the Devils set, and it is quite literally a bunch of devils from the D&D Monster Manual. If we start with the simplest figures, these mishapen lumps, what are these? Well, they are known as lemurs, or lemures. Let me show you. Here they are. These guys. They're actually not devils as such. These are the souls of the damned. If you're evil, and you're lawful evil in life, and then you go to hell, and become this vaguely human blobs, which is tormented by devils. Their minds are quite gone. And so they serve as sort of slaves of the devils, but after a while they can be promoted into being devils themselves if they turn out to be properly evil. Now, and by the way, the source here is the original, the first edition D&D Monster Manual, which is my own copy that I've kept for all these years. On the same spread, we have the Ice Devil, which is from the frigid 8th plane of hell, and they're made of ice. Well, they're kind of cold, so to speak. And I believe this thing here is supposed to be an Ice Devil. I'm not sure about the head, but here we have some small parts. I'll have to try to figure. Yes. This is the head. It fits like so. There you can see the mandibles and the eye, the insect-like eyes and so forth. And we have the tail, which fits in here. This is an example of what I was talking about, how the bones being used are actually good at this connector part. We have a large hole here, and we have a large peg here, and it only fits one way. It's not trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. You can only insert it one way. It only works like that, and it will be in the right position. You can't do it wrong. And the same thing with this arm. Hopefully I don't mess it up like so. Well, some glue, and that will be fine. So that's the Ice Devil. What's this other thing here? Well, this one is a bit trickier. This is, oh, here's the other arm. This one looks like a skeleton, doesn't it? with a scorpion tail and wings. Well, the closest thing I can say is this thing here, the Bone Devil. And I think these sort of spider webs on his back have been interpreted as wings. I don't know. They don't have a flying movement speed, so they're probably not functional wings. But well, they look kind of tattered, so I guess they couldn't carry them. Having functional wings would not be canon. Oh well. Let's put that to the side as well and look at the final miniature here, which this is not in the first edition monster manual. There is nothing that corresponds to this creature. So we have to put that aside and look at the third edition. And well, here we have a nice color picture of an ice devil, and we will find a bone devil here, and we have this here is a lemur. But on this spread we have something called a hellcat. Now let me see where it is. I believe this is supposed to be one of these things. It's a creature in the shape of an enormous lion, but its form consists of blinding light and fiery sparks, as though its body were made of energy and not flesh and bone. That could be kind of challenging to paint. How do you paint something that's made of pure energy? And more importantly, what is this strange posture? Is it... do I have to build a base for it in 2 levels? Or is it that I'm supposed to straighten this out so it's on the same level, sort of like so? I think the later course might be simpler, but yeah. We'll try the boiling water thing and see if we can make this work, hopefully. Otherwise we will have to glue it to a base somehow to get it to stand flat. Well, anyway, this is an example of how Reaper have stayed very close to their sources in many cases, even if they don't have the trademarks so they can actually name things properly. It's easy to tell what they're supposed to be, which is kind of fun. It's time once again to show off some of my latest acquisitions to you, and this is as a package I received from the Womp store, which is a new retailer I've discovered. I discovered them because I got some paintbrushes from them in a Kickstarter that I backed. You have not seen me use those, you have not seen me review them because I haven't used them. Simply because my old brushes haven't run out yet. I only got these, you know, just to be safe. But I did get some other stuff from this store. And not any miniatures, but other stuff. You will remember that I talked a few videos back when I was in the Spookytober project about... the Malifaux project, about the trouble of drilling and how I've often used one of these hand drills. This is the Army Painter pin vise, as it's called. I'm not sure why. I mean, it makes pin-sized holes, but there's nothing vice-like about it. Oh well. What you see here is the 1mm drill bit, the smallest one you get with a set of drill bits. And the 1mm is the only one that ever runs out, the only one that ever breaks or wears out on me. But if you're buying new drill bits from the model companies, they only sell them in sets. So you have to get the larger sizes as well, even though I never used up those. And you can't get drill bits this small in a normal hardware store. So I kind of despaired of having a good source. But Womp, they sell single drill bits. So I was able to get a 1mm drill bit, and this is the black one. You can perhaps see a smaller silvery drill bit here. That's a 0.5mm. They had 0.5mm, that's the smallest size, and I thought, whew, that's really small. I want to try that out. I haven't actually tried it out in practice yet. I'm not sure the chuck in my hand drill will even grip a bit this small. But if it does, that's an interesting solution to the problem that certain models are so delicate that even a 1mm hole is too big for them. So some experimentation will be made. I got some other stuff related to modeling. I picked up a batch of the superfine white milliput, which is not... I used milliput back in the day, as in back in the 90s, but there was only the one type of milliput then, I think. And, you know, I don't recall what it was like to use. I was a noob back then, so I probably didn't use it right. But since milliput has been recommended to me as being better than green stuff for a lot of things, I want to try this stuff out. For example, for making those bases with the basing stamps. While we're on the subject of bases, I picked up some terrain bits, perhaps you could call them. These are like rune stones or something. I'm thinking maybe I could make ski markers for Malifaux with these, seeing as Hassle-Free has stopped producing those road markers I used before. And here's some treasure bits, boxes and piles of coins and chests and the like. And even more terrain. We have a strip of flowers here. I like having foliage of different colors and types just to get some more variety on my bases. This is from a company called Mini Natura. I think this is a railroad modeling company. I think I've seen them in that context. And finally, the last thing I got in this order from Womp was this. The Flesh paint set from Scale 75. Scale Color is their brand for paints, which contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paints useful for painting skin. Everything from pale skin to African shadow. These Scale 75, or sorry, Scale Color paints have come recommended to me. I've been looking for a chance to try them out. I've been looking for a good source. I mean, technically I could buy them straight from Scale 75. It's just that they charge an arm and a leg for shipping, even within Europe. I mean, they're a European-based company, but it costs extortionate amounts of money to send to another EU country. So screw that. And so Womp actually had them at a better, you know, the paints at about the same price as the source, and shipping much cheaper. And I have a project in mind to try these out. It will not happen until next month because that project has sort of been preempted by the Spookytober thing. I'm painting undead all this month, and these are not undead colors. These are natural skin colors. So let's as a teaser, I can tell you that I have a project in mind where I need to paint a lot of skin. I'll just leave you with that thought. And until next time I see you, this is Dakian signing off.